Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Reflections, a joint program between Cambodia-ASEAN International Institute and ThmeyThmey Online News. And this program, we are conducting it in English. And today's discussions, we are talking about a topic, turn your passion into profits. And joining our discussion today, we have to my right side, we have Roddanin. Roddanin is assistant to head of Young Learner Program at Cambodia-ASEAN International Institute. And to further right, we have ThmeyThmey, and ThmeyThmey is the founder of the Triple S Healthy Drinks. In a moment, I will be getting our speakers to share their educational experiences and some of the aspects that I may not cover in my introductions. And to further right, joining us by Mr. Jiawibol. And Mr. Jiawibol is the operations manager of the Gourmet Beverage Solution. So welcome to the Reflections. Can you introduce yourself a little bit further so that the audience can understand or can get to know who are you further? So we'll start from you first.
Okay, so my name is Roddanin and I am currently a junior majoring in Bachelor of Arts in English at International Institute of Foreign Language.
My name is ThmeyThmey. I was to win my degree in education at IFL2. Then I pursued my master degree in Finland, but I'm a suspended student right now because I came to start a business in food processing, first in cashew processing and then the healthy drink that I was introduced as.
So I'm Vivol. So I'm the operation manager of Gourmet Beverage Solution. So I was I graduated high school here in Phnom Penh, and then I took my bachelor degree in Australia, and then came back starting a coffee business. And right now I'm running the operation as an operation manager of the Gourmet Beverage Solution.
Well, since we are talking about passion, so I will have to begin asking Ming first. What is your passions based your understanding? Based on your understanding.
My passion is in food processing. I love to see food processing industry in Cambodia grows because it's a field that is not going anywhere for the past decades. We see a lot of influx of foreign products and goods at the market, and I'd love to get something that is authentically Cambodian, that is standardized processed.
So how can you get to know your passions on food processing?
I started reading about cashew processing while going through an article about cashew farming because I bought some farmland back in my hometown. Then this kind of small ideas planted into my head. I've done more reading and then it just grows because I see that lots of people around me, especially my little sister, she goes to school, she eats something, she came back home, puke, and she had to go to the hospital.
So that becomes your passion.
Yes, I think I want to see something that can help not just me personally, but my family, people around me. There's gap also in our country about in this field of business. I think that's it.
Okay. How about Weibo? There are multiple businesses in Cambodia, but you're working on coffee. You're working on beverage. I believe that this is your passions. And tell us, how can you discover your passions?
Actually, yes, there's been a lot of people asking me like, okay, you graduated like from overseas and like coming back selling coffee, and yes, because that's how I started. I graduated and then came back. Like 6 months after I came back, I opened a coffee kiosk. So on campus. So it's a very small one, 4x2 meters. So it's really small. I'm running that, and I got a lot of people question me like, why you're not going to like some company, good company, like working, why coming and sell coffee? Even my mom even questioned me that.
And tell us why. And tell us why. Yeah, and tell us why now.
Well, okay. It's actually I've been loving coffee since I was a kid, but I didn't know that I would do coffee for life.
Did you drink coffee when you were a kid?
I did.
You did?
So I drank coffee since I was a kid. So, well, but then when I was in uni, coffee became like part of the student life. That you have to queue up for a cup of coffee before you go to class. And back then, sometimes I was late for class, but I still ended up queuing for coffee before I go to class, even 30 minutes late, rather than just waste like 2 hours in the lecture, lose all your concentration, and you can't do anything anyway.
Right.
So that kind of things that get into me, and then came back. I saw a trend here.
You saw a trend in Cambodia?
Yeah, I saw a trend because I came back 5 years ago. I saw a trend that coffee has been kind of picking up here in Cambodia. So I thought to myself, well, if coming here, I would spend a lot of money drinking coffee anyway. Why shouldn't I do something about it? And sawing the
smart move.
That because back then 5 years ago, coffee was a lifestyle product that people would go to cafe to take a picture of it. So and buy more of the kind of environment rather than the product itself. The majority of the clients is of the customer is university student. Going there just to do assignment and stuff. So being a uni student myself, I know that coffee and student is married kind of. So it's part of the uni student life.
I see.
So I thought to myself, instead of having students come out of school to grab coffee, why shouldn't we move a little bit closer to students?
So that's why you.
So I started to look for a place on campus to run a coffee business because I think because I like drinking coffee, and that's how I first started actually.
I see. Okay. Well, Danin, let's tell us a little bit about your passions in taking a Bachelor's of Art in English. So how did you discover your passion?
I think my passion is to work in education field, sector. I just love education because every time you look back into the past and you can actually see yourself improve, see yourself getting better, it's because of education. It doesn't always mean you have to just sit in class and listen to the lecture. It's like informal education. You learn every day from the surrounding, from your friends, from your family. And this, every day there's always a lesson that you can learn. And those lessons, if you look back, you can see that it's actually very powerful. It can shape your perspective on certain things.
So then your major is a Bachelor's of Art in English, and how do you see yourself can turn it into a profit after graduation?
So actually my plan is for now I want to involve in education sector. So right now I'm working at Cam-ASEAN International Institute. So I now partly involved in educations, and when I graduate I may pursue my master degree abroad about education, and then I may come back here and just try to make our education system better.
But how?
I would operate a business like a school, an English school, of course.
So you want to start a
school. Yeah, a language school.
Okay, well, let's put aside your passions. We're talking about passions in general now. How can someone discover their passions? Anyone can start first. How can someone discover their own passion?
Okay, well, I think that will start with, everybody got to start with something, doing what they want to do. So I believe every one of us, at one point in time, will question ourselves, what we're going to do in life.
True. Yeah.
And then we'll try to discover, what do I like Like, what do I want to do? And that part you have to reflect back, like, what captured your attention? Like, what you really interested in? And that will keep you going forward. Because when we talk about passion, I believe every one of us will have something that you like and find interesting that you want to discover further. That I would call it as a passion. That you want to go further and you want to discover it more, so then you still keep on going for many years to come. Yes.
Let me hear. We see that young people right now, they tend to have their interest on certain things just for a short period of times. So do you see that this is the case for young Cambodian people?
I think it depends, because we're talking about a whole country of youth. But I think the passion, it's really hard to define. For certain people, they have different definition, but passion is something you love. You started to go into it.
Even if it's a short period of time?
I don't think that's called passion. Passion is something that you love inwardly, like from within you, and you can do it even without any profit or without any pressure. You can do it as leisure activity or as hobby. But a profession and a career is different from passion. You don't have to love a job. You can go and leave a job, but a passion is something that you love and you'll stick to it. So to find a passion, you need to go and do something that you think that you like. It's all about experience. If you go into it, you think that you're good at it and you love it, stick with it, and you don't ever feel bored doing it, then that's your passion. It's not just a job, a career. It sticks with you for the rest of your life and you love it no matter what.
What if, of course they have that passion, they want to do in their life, but the current market is not that, they cannot make profit from their passion, and then they cannot sustain their living. How would you say to this?
Personally, I've jumped into food processing, like I've already said. Both of it, first was cashew processing, the second one was juice, which both of them were pilots. And I jumped into both of them. If you don't jump into something, you wouldn't learn if it's possible. Go into it. At least you learn that you will able to do it, like for financial benefit, or you'll continue to do it out of love, then do it privately.
Well, some people will accuse that you waste your time, you waste your money just doing that.
I think experience earned already. You don't waste your experience, you learn multi-skills. I don't regret going into food processing. I've learned a lot. And even though I didn't get much money out of it, but a lot of people recognize me. I got offered to manage factories, and there are also other possibility from my experience, and it's still experience, even though the trend in Cambodia does not accept local processing. I think it's possible also if you have lots of money to teach people how to go with your products.
Well, despite you claim that it's not a wasting time, you earn experiences, but some people would argue that oftentimes you compare yourself to the rest of people's living around you, and then you will see that you own much less than those people, and then you feel kind of resentment, and then how do you overcome this feeling of like owning little or having a little than those who are richer than you?
Well, there's always people saying, like what you've been through, naysayer. They would always reject you for coming to do what you love, and that's okay. I call that a short-term visionary. They only look at a short period of time of your success, but a long-term visionary, you look at a distant futures, whether you will go into it later or not, that's fine, but experience is still experience. If you want to go and earn money right now, you can work for other people. But if you still work for people in 20 years, you'll still work for them and you'll never reach your fullest potential. But if you worked just to gain experience and then go on to start something of your own or take control of your life, I think that's the way of an entrepreneur should be. And I think if you go into your passion, you love it already. So you won't feel the need to get more out of your life because you are already doing what you love.
Daniel, if you see what he said is that if you are really into your passion, you don't really need more because you already feel what you like and what you want. But living, usually you got your family, you got children, you got family to support as well. So despite you may not need, but your family do, or family members do. Do you see that this is a case that you can challenge him?
To me, I think that every responsibility, every careers, and every passions is worth it. What I mean here is that if you are very good at it, then profits will come later. So if, for example, if you love painting, I would say, and then you could become like a very good painter one day, and then you can start business about it. And then if you become one of the best painter, for example, in Cambodia and stuff like that, then the profits will come after you, and I think that will afford your living.
But painter, for example, the profit will come. I have no questions about that. But usually it's way smaller compared to other businesses. How do you see that? How can they survive? If the profit that come through what they like, come through their passion, it tends to be so small, you can not even support yourself. How are you going to support the family?
I think that's the question of asking yourself whether you're ready to jump into a business.
That's very good. Yeah, very good. Yeah.
You need to look from the subjective perspective, personal perspective, whether you have the commitment, financial capacity, and also no string attached to family. For example, me, I'm single, so I don't have any responsibility. But if you have a family or responsibility, make sure that you have all the criteria to spare your time equally with business and family.
I will come back and asking we both about other questions and the rest of the speakers other questions as well. For now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a short break for 15 minutes and then we'll come back and discuss further about turn our passions into profit. Thank you.
បងយ៉ាន់មកនៅស្រុកខ្មែរយូរហ្នឹងបានដើរលេងគ្រប់ខេត្តក្រុងហើយនៅអូខ្ញុំទៅមកពីខេត្តវិញយប់មិញឥឡូវនេះខ្ញុំអាចនិយាយបានខ្ញុំស្គាល់គ្រប់ខេត្តអស់ហើយនៅប្រទេសខ្មែរប្រហែលឆ្នាំខ្ញុំទៅលេងខេត្តមួយចាំបានន័យថា25ឆ្នាំដើរបាន25រាជធានីខេត្ត25ហ្នឹងហើយសារព័ត៌មានថ្មីសហការជាមួយទូរទស្សន៍បារាំង CFE ក្រុងនឹងផ្សព្វផ្សាយព័ត៌មានទាក់ទងទៅនឹងវិស័យកសិកម្មនៅតាមទីជនបទនៃប្រទេសកម្ពុជាកម្មវិធីនេះនឹងចាប់ផ្ដើមផ្សព្វផ្សាយនៅដើមខែកញ្ញាខាងមុខនេះកម្មវិធីថ្មី25រាជធានីខេត្តអាចទាញចូលបានក្នុង Apple Store និង Play Store ថ្មី25
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back after the short break, and we are continuing to talk about turn our passion into profit. So, Mr. Weeble, he talked about running businesses require multiple skills. I doubt what are those skills?
It's true. I mean, being an entrepreneur it's never easy. It's never easy. So you have to do a lot of, practice a lot of skill, I would say. From the team management, like from the front line to the back line, and especially if you want to start something out of your passion. Mostly, it's come with like you do it as a startup first. So as a startup, as a entrepreneur, you have to do everything from A to Z. That is a lot of from decision making to data collection about the market. So everything is on you. So you need to learn all that a lot.
But Danin, a number of successful people specify or stress on communication skill and networking skill to the two very important in Cambodia status quo for running businesses. And do you see that these two skills are so significant for starting up businesses?
Yes, of course. I think these two skills are very important because in business, I think you are not doing business alone, right? You have your competitor, you have your customer, and these are the people that you have to talk to. These are the people you have to communicate with. So they can either be your guidance or be your competitor. So when you talk to different people, you get different ideas. When you see your competitor doing this, then you will try to find things that are better than them. Then this, can expand your knowledge, and this at the same time can actually expand your business quality, I would say.
How can you build communication skill then?
I think first of all, it's by practicing and going out. Yes,
Just going out eating with some friends? Is that you were talking about?
No, attending events and getting to know especially famous people or successful people, and then talk to them. If you have any challenges about life or anything, then try to approach them. You do not have just to wait for them to approach you first, and then try to communicate with them.
How about those who are not so successful? Are you suggesting that we should not go and talk to them?
No, not all the time. Because everyone is you are not good at. I am not good at everything, and the other people may be good at the things that I'm not good at. So that is the point where you share and you learn from one another. Okay. So everyone is worth sharing and learning from.
I think you want to say something.
Well, I think that's a small part of communication and networking skills. I think it's a lifelong process when it comes to communication and networking skills, and if you want to do all that, you need to jump into different environment, and not just for example jumping into a different field, maybe doing some exchange working environment, or there are many other things that you can do. Probably work with some community, travel abroad. Because these days the world is so globalized, you need to see the world from different cultural backgrounds as well. So I think there are a lot more than that.
But suppose that we want to run a beverage company or healthy drink, like you started a pilot project about that. I think the communication that would be helpful is the communication in that circle, isn't it?
Well, the product is for everyone. It's for people from different backgrounds of cultures as well. For example, you need to understand which nationality consume this kind of products, and what kind of food they eat, and what kind of food that they don't. And there are a lot more to a product than what the eye can see if you look at it from the perspective of a normal consumer.
I see. Well, you were running a coffee shop. Of a Cambodian situation or Cambodian society. Well, from my observations, I see that some of the drinking shop closing down right now. And then do you see that your business is in a danger, or how are you going to survive in this business for a long run?
There's some cases like that, but I think as an entrepreneur, you should not see that as a threat, but you should see what kind of things, what kind of opportunity that you can get out of it instead. It's true though, but if you look at the market as a whole, in terms of too much worry about how your business is going to survive, if you look at the market as a whole, from the consumer side, from the demand side, because when you say about market, it's about demand and supply. So if you look at the demand side, coffee consumer is still increasing. Coffee consumer base is still big and it's increasing every day. It's quite a special case for Cambodia that a big shift from the traditional coffee to espresso coffee because of like those like unhealthy or some say chemical like coffee.
You're running a local brand product or brand business, is that correct?
Yeah.
How are you going to challenge the big brand product or big brand company or shop like Amazon or Starbucks coming to Cambodian society?
Actually, yes. I mean, for me, coffee has been my passion, but to run a coffee shop, it's one of the dream. But I do balance between reality and passion. So I mean, currently I still only running one cafe. We do not expand, and we're not going outside the school because that would require a lot of capital to invest in a store renovation and stuff. So I jump from the coffee business to business selling coffee to a business that provide coffee service. So we do coffee catering, and now what we are doing is the coffee equipment suppliers and wholesaler, we are distributor. So we actually supply to coffee shop instead.
Well, recently, to all speakers, recently I observed that the numbers of entrepreneurs and also successful people running different workshops, and then they talk about businesses, they talk about startups, and that partly, making young people, I say it partly, but that partly contribute to the feelings that young people got the feeling to drop out from university degrees and start up their own businesses. So, and then should they drop out from universities and then start the business that they're passionate about? You may go for that.
To me, I would suggest not, because
why that is the case if they are so curious?
Because I think that at that age, as a student, it's the phase where you learn about everything in life, and you need to learn about different aspects of life first. You need to consume knowledge and everything, like business background or just anything about business if you are willing to do business, and then you just start business when you are ready, which means probably after you graduate, but not during the phase of you being a student, because I think that is the phase where you need to learn about.
You tend to join her saying that you should not drop out the universities and start a business.
No, I think it depends.
It depends again, okay.
I think it's circumstantial when it comes to business running. Mm-hmm. And if that person is so sure that what they have planned out, mapped out, and the research that they've put into the business is well panned out, then why not? I don't see the point in going into studying into a field that you will not use for the rest of your life. But it's a very fickle decision, whether you have a backup plan before you drop out or not. Life is all about making choice that you're happy with, and it's not just school that can teach you.
What sometimes people make decisions and then they're happy just for a moment or short period of time, 5 years, 10 years, later on in life, and then regret that, I should have earned that degree. How would you say?
Like I've already said, you should have a backup plan before you decide to go into something that is very risky like that.
What is the backup plans not becoming the backup?
Well, people have different background. For example, you might have financial backup from your parents. You already have a family-run business that is up and running. You can go into it at any time. And there are many more examples of backup plan that you need to have one before you start to drop out, and probably ask permission from your parents before disappointing them.
Right. But what if the backup plan is not financial backup, but it rather a minor business backup? But if we run into that minor business, it's not our passions. What do you think about that?
The minor business that you mean is...
The backup plan is a minor business. Right. So, and then if we're getting into that backup plan, the backup business, and then it turned out to be, but that is not our passion?
You have to, for me, how I started is, if you think you can do something big, probably you do something small first. That's kind of backup plan as well, actually.
I see.
So
even though that small business is not something you really want to do.
It is. I mean, like when I started doing coffee has been my passion. So instead of doing, doing something big, probably I can invest just a little bit, asking friends to join, just, small capital, doing something as a pilot project like what he's doing.
Daniel, do you see that in life sometimes we need to do something that we don't really like?
When it's something that you don't like, to me it's like a challenge. Like
yes, it's a challenge, but some people are so capable of doing things that they don't like. They also can generate profit from what they don't like. I mean, they can generate from things that they're doing as well, but they don't really like it.
It's the phase where, it's where you learn. Like you don't like, for example, I do not like just an example, I do not like teaching, and then I go for teaching because I need money, for example, and then that is also when I learn about something new. So that something new may actually benefit you when you are doing what you like.
Well, this is the word from so many people. This is the word from so many successful people as well. But if we look into those successful people, they are running multiple businesses, right? They're running multiple businesses. But my question is, do they really like all those businesses? Are those businesses all about their passions, or those businesses are all about the profit?
I think they may balance between doing what that benefits them in terms of profits and doing what they're passionate in. So probably they do something that they're passionate in along with something that benefits their profits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they know how to balance those stuff, so it goes along.
Okay, there's two speakers out there. If we see the multi-million-dollar businessmen in Cambodia, they are running multiple business, starting from telecom company and to the beverage company, sometimes to electronic companies as well. I don't think that they are passionate about all of those businesses. I believe that they actually they're passionate about certain things. Why at one point they're running so many businesses?
Passionate about making money?
This is
it's actually true that actually as an entrepreneur, sometimes we do have a passion, but what we want to pursue is a success, is an achievement in what we're doing as well. So when you feel comfortable with something that you're doing, probably you want to hop out a little bit out of your comfort zone and doing something else. Mm-hmm. And it is, some people will do a series of businesses in a same industry, mm-hmm. but some might hop between industry. If they see an opportunity or market out there, mm-hmm. that they can do something, being successful is like what everybody want to be at.
Mm-hmm. How about Mihim? How do you see that?
I think there's the difference between passions and interests. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to investment, people like to put it in different baskets. If one goes bad, they have a reserve backup business right there. And I think when they invest in something, they have an interest in that business, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a passion. As long as you know about it, you think that it can generate money.
You were saying that financial interest.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Not in that term specifically to it. Also, I think people have multi-interests. For mm-hmm. example, I'm also interested in education. My background is also in teaching, and I want to pursue that field as well. And I think people like a lot of things, whether you want to commit into something, and then when you have more money, you'd like to explore more options. Mm-hmm. And I think these big businessmen or business women, they invest in what they think is the future of the country or what they think is going to grow. Because we need lots of money to grow this country, develop it.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching The Reflections, a joint program between Cambodia-ASEAN International Institute and ThmeyThmey Online News. And this is the discussions about turn your passions into profit. Thank you.
Welcome to Cam-ASEAN. This is a wonderful school for you to master your business English skills as well as your professional skills. Cam-ASEAN has well-appointed classrooms, also a student lounge and a language lab. The language lab is wonderful for them to improve by themselves their English abilities. We have a wonderful conference hall where we host many activities.
I am Sunny. I studied Business English and Skills at Cam-ASEAN and I'm ready for the ASEAN integration. So why wait? Come and join us now.
ចង់សិក្សាភាសាអង់គ្លេសនិងជំនាញសិក្សានៅ Cam-ASEAN